Hello techies. Welcome to our brand new video series focused on helping you get the most of your experiences in life. Before we start the video, let's know about Upptalk. Upptalk is a live, interactive platform for software training, furnishing robust personalities who could take on universal business platforms.
Okay, it is not job-based, it is not role-based, it's not location-based, it's just that we want this particular person to be an administrator. So we are going to add this user to the user-based security group called Peer Role Administrator. Okay, these people, the administrator kind of people, are like manually selected. Like, okay, I want this person, these. It is very like I would say a very elite group of people, because they are the ones who are going to have some special permissions, the admin kind of positions. Okay, so we are going to give a special access to these specific user-based security groups. Now, the difference between role-based and user-based is also in the fact that the user-based security group is unconstrained. It is typically unconstrained. So what does that mean is it has access to the entire system, regardless of the organization that they are part of. Okay, because they are administrators. They need a system-wide access. Does a manager have system-wide access? What would be your answer? Why not? Why not? Because a manager is a role-based security group constraint. Isn't it? A manager is a constrained role-based security group. The manager has access only to the organization that they are assigned the role. Are we correct to say that? Isn't it? Are we okay to say that? That a manager has only access to the organization where they have the role. But an administrator, like a payroll admin, a report writer, a security administrator, an auditor, a benefits administrator, these people will have a system-wide access. They will have access to all the organizations, all the workers across the organization, because it is an unconstrained kind of a security group. Okay, and we will assign the users to the user-based security group manually. Okay, we will not use any roles or anything else to assign. And typically how the organizations manage is they will open a ticket. Everybody has a ticketing system where they log their the incidents, the tasks. You may have heard about Jira. Now people have come up with something like Asana, and then they did a service. Now, right, there are many applications like this, which does incident management. So you could open a task, you could open an incident or a request, and you can say that please include this search and search user as part of the payroll administrator user group. Okay, so then the security administrator will do that and keep a track that. Okay, this user was added because of search and search ticket, the search and search request. And so when the worker is no longer required to do this particular role or to do this particular job, then what they will do is they will again manually remove the user from this particular user-based security group. Because, irrespective of job transfers, job changes, location transfers, company transfers, it will not affect your user-based security group. Okay, because it is assigned to your Workday account. It is not assigned to your position. It is not assigned to your job profile. It is assigned to your Workday account. Okay, so keep that in mind that if you have to remove a user from a security group, you have to manually go to the security group, edit it, and remove the user from there. Alright, so this is appropriate for administrators or specific individuals who need system-wide access for their areas of responsibility. It is not given to anybody and everybody. It's very, very specific. Organizations will control this very, very carefully. Okay, who they assign to the user-based security groups. Okay, some common examples of user-based security groups are the business process administrators, job and position administrators, organization admins, security admins, supervisory admins, right? And, of course, for payroll admin, talent admin, comp admin, absence admin, HR auditors. These are some examples of a user-based security group. Okay. So again, let's quickly revise what we know about a role-based security group. So it groups users based on the roles, right? Roles are associated with organizations. It indicates the responsibility for that item and role is assigned to job or position of the worker filling that role. We know that it is inherited from the superior organization if not assigned, isn't it? And grants access to certain roles, like, example, role of manager, but only for the direct reports. This is what role-based security is. And so now can we compare and contrast between a role-based versus a user-based security group? Let's try. So a user-based security group can access the whole organization, the entire organization for the functional area right entire system. It is not restricted to any particular organization. But what about a role-based one? Role-based security group can access only the specific organizations where they have the role. Right. So let's say, for Org Unit 1, we have H, our partners. It will be inherited for Org Unit 2, Org Unit 4, and Org Unit 5. But if you give somebody an Org Unit 3, that will be inherited in 6 and 7. Okay, but at 6 in Organization Unit 6, you may assign it to somebody else. You may assign the role to some other position. But if you are not doing it for 7, it will inherit from number 3. Right. But the role assignees will only have access to the organization where they have the role, not to anywhere else. Right. So now let's explore a user-based security group in this system. How to create one, or how to assign a user to a user-based security group. And how do we do that? We have to do it manually. Right. We will assign a user to a user-based security group manually. It is not done by virtue of any role assignment. Okay. Let me log into the system. What was the task? To create a security group. Create security group. Create security group. And what was the task to assign permissions? Like, let's say, if I want to copy over the permissions from an existing security group and do the same permissions for this one. What was the task to do that? Maintain permission for security group. Maintain permissions for security group. So what does that task allow you to do? It has two options. Right? Maintain permissions for security group. It had two options. One was maintain. The other one was copy and maintain. So what will the maintain allow you to do? We have not seen that. But still, what do you think? Maintain would mean that you would be able to add or remove some permissions. Okay. That would mean that you will work with that security group and you will be able to add or remove certain permissions. But what about copy? What does copy do? We can copy from another room, like security things or any data which we have already done. It copies the security permissions from another security group. Right. That is what it does. So if I go to maintain permissions for security group again, maintain permissions for security group. So what happens is if I open my, let's say, the one that we created yesterday, WW Compensation Partner. Okay. If I click on Maintain option, I can go to Maintain and I can change the permissions. 241 of them. Let's say for pre-hire skills and experience. I don't want view and modify. Instead, I want view only. Right. I can do that. I can change it to view only. And then I can click OK, or I can remove it altogether. I can just remove the row like this. I can change it. I can get rid of it. So now there is 240. There used to be 241. I removed one. Let's say audit compensation for worker or gonna be needed. Let's say pre-hire personnel data. I remove the get input. Okay. I just removed it. Okay, and click on OK. So it gives me a warning saying that you have made changes to the security policy permissions. So now you have to do something. What do we have to do after making changes? Right. Activate. Pending security policy changes. Right. This is the task. Activate pending security policy changes. Right. So, and what was the other option? Maintain permissions for security group. There was two options. There was two options. All for all security. That was when I said activate. Yeah. It was the authentication policy. That is something else. That is not security policy. We are going to do security policy changes. Authentication policy will control how you access your Workday system. Whether you are using a single sign-on, you are using user ID and password and so on. That is again typically for your security admins to take care of. Okay. But we are doing a security policy changes. I mean, we as consultants, we will need to work with this one. Security.
Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us at sales@uptalk.com.